I'm Kev, and welcome to some more coverage from Season 3 of Formula Xbox. And Tier 1, they visited the Nurburgring in Germany for round 10 for the halfway mark of the season. And it was very wet, as you can see in qualifying, just like at Silverstone. It seems the weather just carried on from Silverstone to Germany. And as you can see on the full wet tyres, we were qualifying with about 5 minutes left, and that cone just sitting in the middle of the road. Disgusting. Should have been trained to, look both ways before crossing the track. And as you can see in this first sector, I do struggle a bit, and it's a bit Formula Drifty through that right-hander. Don't do Formula Drift in F1 2013. You're either going to just lose loads of times or end up in a barrier somewhere in Spain, probably because of the lag issues. And so this qualifying lap wasn't the best I could have done. I really did lose quite a lot of time, over half a second in that first sector. And just the timing of my qualifying lap, as you can see, I've got quite a few minutes to go, and I actually done my runs after this with about 2 minutes left, and it got drier as the session went on. So if we went out and that was especially the last 30 seconds you crossed that line, you had the best conditions available to you, and you could have gone maybe up to a second faster than I did here. But I wasn't that bad. I wasn't too far off the pace, and this is on a track where I'm just bad. I don't know what it is about this track. It's a track I should love. It's got all the characteristics I love about the tracks that I love the most. It's undulating. It's got great fast flowing corners. It's got a nice flowing layout. There is the $3 chicane just there in the first corner, but apart from that, it's a lovely track, the Nurburgring. So, I do expect to do much better around it, but I just can't. I didn't really practice for this race, I have to say, but for some reason I just can't hook up this track in any game that I've driven in. But as you can see, it's a Red Bull 1-2. Look at that fantastic midget right up there, and Legion in third, and then the two Mauritius in fourth and fifth. There we are, down in 8th out of 12 players. So here we are on the grid, and we're in 9th. I swear we were 8th in qualifying. And out of 12 players, so quite a healthy grid, and we're looking to get a very good start. But alongside Hamilton, we are actually up to 8th. Another glitch to add to the long list, it seems. And we've got Kells on our outside, we've got Drastic Devil on our outside as well. I'm going to be very cautious, incredibly cautious. Going to be cautious into the first turn. To say I'm going to be cautious, and it looks like we hit Drastic Devil a bit. Then we're losing the back end on the exit, and Cartman's coming around our outside, so we've got to give him room and let him through. We're down to the last, but it looks like Kells has gone too much over the curve and stopped Matt losing the car a bit. Went into Cartman, and disappointing for Kells there, as through the right-hander, Stop Matt runs right. We just avoid him and just make it up to 9th place. So that was a good start for us, even though we did drop to last temporarily. We took advantage of incidents in front and kept it clean. That's what we want from our start. So we're going into the chicane of fortune, I'm going to call it, as random beats goes all over the grass and wide, and that allows Stop Matt to go down my inside, as I had to back it up a bit to avoid going into the back or random beats. So onto that too, into the chicane of fortune. Can we actually get it? No, we can't get it. But it looks like there's big battling in front between random beats. I think that's Hamilton fan and Stop Matt as well, having to look down the inside of Stop Matt into the Coca-Cola curb, or I think it's still called a Coca-Cola curb, I can't remember, but it looks like he's got away for us out of the last corner. And look at that Armstrong, just under 3 seconds faster than us already. Onto that free into the end of the last sector. The left-hander just braking a bit on the grass, on the white line, into the gravel, in last place. Might as well give up now. No, actually, it can't get any worse, unless we get hit by lightning, like happened to Brandon last race. But into the chicane of fortune again, and we just hit the inside curve too much. Our lack of practice really is showing in the chicane of fortune as we go onto that 4, and again hit the inside curve too much. And there goes Armstrong, another couple of seconds faster than everyone else at the front. And into that 5, going wide in the Dunlop curb, and maybe we've got to bring the brake bias back a bit, because putting it in the neutral position, it's not really working, not really helping us brake as we go into the chicane of fortune, again hitting the inside curve too much. Not bad on the second part, but we're getting a bit better now, as we're not last. Legion is last, as he's had to pit early from his option tyres, and that will show later in the race. But again, locking up into that Dunlop curve, so we get that brake bias to the rear to help with the braking. And into the chicane of fortune, we've actually done it. We've done it for once. We've done it. Round of applause. Why do I hear nothing? And into the chicane of fortune for for lap 7, catching up to Hamilton, who's struggling with his prime tyres. So are we, but we're stretching it out. And look at Legion, he's gained seconds per lap on us on his fresh prime tyres. I had to think a bit there, but he's got our inside line into the right handers. We're just struggling like hell. Understeer all over the place, and I said I'm terrible around this track, and he's already got us before we get even into the non-knock curve, and can use that lovely camber and radius. I do love these corners like this where you can use the road to your advantage. And we've got Drastic Midget right behind us, also pitted, and he's batting hard with the Legion for podium spots. A great race from Drastic Midget as well, our humble overlord of Formula Xbox. And as we go into the right hander, I've gone wide, and he's took advantage round the outside. Lovely opportunistic move there. I got it eventually, and we're ahead of Cartman behind us, but we're going to pit. As you saw, we already chose the option, so just going to quickly get into the pit lane out the chicane of fortune. As we lose the back end, definitely time to pit. And now our lovely option tyres. As we're right behind Stop Matt, I think he had troubles getting into the pit lane. And again through the chicane of fortune, just going over those sausage curves too much. I do hate those sausage curves. Round to good old flat curves. As we go into the chicane of fortune again, it was a bit slow, but we actually made it through as we jumped Hamilton fan in the pit stops as well. But he's got fresher tyres than us for this last stint. And then look at that, lap 11, we got it right again, losing that back end a bit on the exit. That's not going to do our tyre wear well at all. Onto lap 12 now. We're falling back from Stop Matt a bit, and in an exciting round of beats has destroyed his car. I think he was last anyway, unfortunately. And Hamilton fan, we're keeping the gap stable to him. Or did the car destroy random beats? We will never know. So into the chicane of fortune, and look, a tragedy. Drastic Midget has retired or lost connection. He lost connection actually. And so his great run has come to an end. And onto that 13, just running wide, and that left hander again where we lost that position to Midget. And then into the right hander, we went one better. We went into the gravel, and we've lost so much time to Stop Matt now. And Hamilton fan is slowly inching towards our gearbox here, and into the chicane of fortune. It wasn't bad, still riding the sausage curves a bit too much I think, but we're getting better. Onto the penultimate lap, and Hamilton fan still inching closer towards us, but we're keeping the gap. And Stop Matt, he's pulled away, but on the last lap Legion was really struggling with his tyres. His primes have went off, so he's batting hard with Stop Matt in front. Chicane of fortune, we did terribly again, and now he's down his inside into the last corner. He's got past him, but I reckon if we had one more lap, we've been all over the back of the Legion. Maybe got past him, as he was really struggling those last few laps. And Stop Matt's crashed over the finish line, and he's already disconnected as well. But so we finished 8th and started 8th, so not a bad race from us. Could have been a bit higher maybe, but I'm terrible around this track. Well done to Ostrom again. But I'll be back with the second half of the season, round 11. So thanks for watching. So till then, cheerio.